Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Drive Thru. I'm your host, Tony T, as we broadcast live here on Pig Dogs YouTube channel and throughout social media. We'll get you out here well before the top of the hour. What we do here on the Drive Thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time is to give you live free sports picks for the games in prime time beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll have the All-Star pick for you, but I guess this is the All-Star break, so we'll also be looking at some futures in the NFL, college football, and Major League Baseball. And to deliver those winners are professional handicappers over at Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a look at who'll be on the show for today. All right, we've got, James Clark will be signing on a little later. Shane Mickle will be with us. Tony Brown from Las Vegas. Got Damien Sash in the center square. Chris Ruffalo will serve as co-host. Big Al McMorty. And we got Trey Jordan, and this is how they'll line up here. Jordan, Brown, McMorty, Burtz, Mickle, Ruffalo, Clark, Sash, and then I will close it out. Joanne Burtz will also sign in a little later on in the show. All right, let's go ahead and bring in Chris. All right, Chris, ready for the All-Star game tonight?
Oh man, it's one of my favorite events of the year, just as a fan, just to watch the All-Star game. But quite an exciting home run derby last night. We almost had a big winner on the drive-through with Trey Mancini. We fell just short, but I'm ready to get it going tonight.
All right, let's get it going. We're gonna give you a nice break to start off the show. How about that, Chris? I know you got to get ready for that big college football segment you got. So we're gonna give Chris a little break. So let's go over to Skype and welcome Trey Jordan to the show. Trey, what's happening?
Nothing much. Just another day. How are you, Tony?
I'm doing great, doing great. All right, here we go. Major League Baseball futures. We're looking here at the NL Central Division.
Yeah. I'm going for the Reds to take this division and make the playoffs this season. For a few reasons, I like this pick. We talked. I don't think you're going to get any wild card teams outside of the Dodgers, the Giants, and the Padres. So you're really going to have to win the division to make the playoffs here, and a lot of value. I see it as high as plus 650 in places. Sorry, and as low as plus 400. But the Reds' hottest team comes to All-Star break at 9-2 in their last 11. They just took 3 out of 4 against the Brewers in Milwaukee. Brewers 2-6 in their last 8. The Brewers, they got a few injuries with Daniel Vogelbach, Colton Wong, Lorenzo Cain, and the Reds have been dealing with infield injuries this year with Nick Senzel and Mike Moustakas. I don't see Senzel or Moustakas coming back very soon, but I do see those 3 from Milwaukee coming back. This is between one and the other. It's a team that's strength is pitching, and the other one's strength is hitting. You got the Brewers struggling to hit this year, 2nd worst batting average in the league, 8th worst in OPS. And you got the Reds, 10th OPS, 7th in average, but they have the 12th worst ERA in the league compared to the 6th ranked Brewers ERA. Coming out of the break, the Reds got 9 home games, and starting off with a series with the Brewers, so I'm definitely going to be looking at some premium plays on the Reds. They're trying to crawl back here in this division, and that first series coming back. So there's a few ways you can play this. You can either go for that team total over 84.5 with the Reds, but I see the most value here is going for the division. And last thing I'll say is the third easiest remaining schedule for the Reds in the MLB, while the Brewers have the 16th toughest. When they have a couple series against the Giants, the Brewers do, while the Reds don't. And the Reds have 4 series against the Pirates, while the Brewers have 3. They also face each other off to a couple more series this season, and the Reds are 7-2 in their last 9 versus the Brewers. So I'm going for the value here with the Reds to get that division to make the playoffs.
All right, Trey says Reds to win NL Central here at a plus 600. You can shop around. There's some 650s out there, but at least get 600 here on the plus side. You know, Trey, looking at this Reds team, we've seen improvement from them. And I think a couple of reasons why. We've seen Luis Castillo get his act together because he got to a horrible start. Then we've seen the rise here of the Reds bullpen of late.
Yeah, their bullpen, there's definitely the downfall of their team this year. And, yeah, Castillo, wow, what a terrible start he had. But he's showed us what we all expected, mostly from the beginning of the season here in those past few starts, coming out and get that win last time out against Woodruff. So, yeah, I also see Sonny Gray coming back for the Reds as well here soon. So they're going to get some additions to that starting staff. And Vladimir Guerrero has been a bright spot coming in for Sonny when he got injured.
Yeah, and the Reds do have some pieces in place, and we looked at here at Gray. I think it was Smiley as well. They've got some pieces there that can really get them. If the bullpen can hold up for them, and because that bullpen, if it can be demoralizing if they cough up blown saves, but as long as they can keep it going, I'd like to see them hit a little better on the road. Of those that started off early was kind of a home road team where they piled up runs on the road, struggled. Piled up runs at home, then struggled on the road. We'll see if they can really get that hitting away from home. But still, the Reds, I think, a really good value here to win the NL Central at plus 600. All right, Trey, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, we got tomorrow as we get back to the swing of things in the NBA. Of course, we've got the Game 3. Of course, baseball coming back on Thursday. What do you have planned going on up over at the site?
I'll 100% have a play on the total tomorrow, but I'm likely to have one on both the side and total. So you can get that in the morning, or when this game start back this weekend, jump on one of those long-term packages, and we're going to make some money for you.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with Trey Jordan over at Pick Dogs Premium. Get long-term passes, your best value. He's at 7 and third day all sports pass. You get every play that releases over at Pick Dogs Premium. For that time period you choose, when you go to the profile page and you make that purchase, add a second capper for 2-for-1, even greater value. All right, Trey, as always, great having your show. Have yourself a great night. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you, Tony. Have a good one.
All right, everybody. Trey Jordan here on the Drive to. Let's bring in Chris. All right, Chris, what do you think about the Reds' fortunes moving forward?
I think you guys hit the nail on the head. I think the key to this whole thing is going to be if Luis Castillo regains his ace type stuff, and as long as Wade Miley can keep it going and Vlad Gutierrez keeps pitching well and really doesn't have to pitch against the Padres, I think they'll be just fine.
No question about that. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru, and we're now going off to sunny Las Vegas, Nevada, and welcome Tony Brown to the show. Tony, how's it going?
I'm doing all right. How you guys doing?
Doing great. All right, you're going to be looking again at NFL. We talked to Cowboys yesterday, but you're out in Las Vegas, and we're going to talk about the silver and black. I know you got some tickets to that team. The Raiders are looking to season win total of 8.
Yeah, I mean, as a fan, I'm looking forward to it. But just to be honest with you, I'm not going to put my money with the Raiders. This is possibly going to be like a make or break season. It's not going to look good for Gruden. We gave him all that money, and it's just like we got too many distractions going on. It's just too much going on right now. First, the guy comes out, Crosby with his sexual history, and I'm not saying anything either way. I'm just saying if you were straight, you wouldn't tell us what you do in your bedroom. Like, what was that all about? Michael Sam, the first gay player to come out in St. Louis, it's going to be a distraction. And then we all know go as your quarterback goes. They don't say the Bucks won the Super Bowl. They say Tom Brady got his 7-3. Like, you go as far as your quarterback takes you. So why not start a quarterback controversy trying to get Aaron Rodgers, who's 57 years old, and now Derek Carr's looking over his back. It's going to be a shit year. And so maybe we get 8 wins and go 50-50, go 500, but 8.5, 9, I don't think we sniff out 9 wins, man. So I'm going to go under.
Under 8 wins here from Tony Brown on this play. All right, Chris. Looking here at the schedule for the Raiders, it comes up tough. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Miami right off the bat, and of course these are teams you could be battling for some tiebreakers in the wild card round. You got these teams the first 3 out of the gate.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be tough. I was going to say, I think the tough part here is going to be just keeping guys healthy, because I think Josh Jacobs and Darren Waller are going to have a huge workload this season. I do think that the offensive line got weaker, though, even though they drafted Alex Leatherwood 17th, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. I think this is just going to be a big ask for the Raiders. I just think it's going to be tough. They did make some moves defensively as well. But, like I said, I think it's just if this was around 7, I'd be a little bit more inclined to lean towards the over here. But under 8, it's going to be a lot.
All right, Tony Brown, we talked about these 3 physical teams right out of the gate here. Ravens, Steelers, Dolphins.
Yeah, I think we're going to go 1 and 2. I think that the Ravens, of course, with Lamar Jackson Monday, they probably come in and get a road win. I think that the Dolphins, they built their team right now, and they're a little bit better than us at this point. We're definitely going to beat the Steelers. I hate the Steelers, and we're better than the Steelers, and we're going to beat them. But other than that, it's 1 and 2.
All right, Tony Brown. All right, he's looking under 8 wins with the Las Vegas Raiders. All right, Tony Brown, we're going into start of the second half of the Major League Baseball season. Thursday we got games. Tomorrow we got that Game 3, Bucks and of course the Phoenix Suns. Of course, what do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I can't wait to get things back started, man. Like, this hit close to home, not having any sports to play. You know, we just came from the pandemic when there was nothing, and this is one near that. So I'll just be so glad when things get back started. We got Game 3 of the finals. We've been crushing the NBA Finals. We're 2-1. We only missed one game. And then we got baseball tomorrow. It's just a solo game with the Red Sox. But after that, we're right back to the second half. And the second half is where the money is. We got college and pro football. We'll have college basketball. You look up, NBA will be started again. Hockey is just going to be a great time for football. So the second half season passes are on sale right now. You get every single play. It'll be playoff time. You get the playoff picks and championship picks. No buying plays per day, per play, and per sport. And really get to make up the money for the second half.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Tony Brown over at Pig Dogs Premium. Second half pass is now available over at the site. It is second half Tony Brown second half Major League Baseball pass. But coming up soon to the site will be the early bird plays here, early bird NFL and college football packages from Tony Brown over at Pig Dogs Premium. All right, Tony, as always, great having your show. Have yourself a great night. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks for having me, guys, and good luck on the All-Star game today.
All right, you too. Tony Brown here on the Drive Thru. All right, let's continue on with the show, guys. Join here with Chris Ruffalo. Reminder, guys, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Free picks every single day. Of course, it starts in the morning with that morning show. You got Mitch, Rod Zawacki, Brian Bittler. Of course, take a look at those VIP memberships there from YouTube, the YouTube member VIP. Follow the link below, get signed up. And of course, the Drive Thru, we're here Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern time with your primetime picks from all the games. All right, let's continue on here. And one more thing, likes, thumbs up. Guys, keep those thumbs up coming. It really helps us grow our audience, Chris.
Absolutely, Tony. It does. I mean, because without the likes and the thumbs up and the support from the Pick Dogs family, there is no Pick Dogs. I keep saying it, and then the more I say it, the more it rings true. Because you look at what we're doing. We're not taking a break. We're coming every day. We're bringing you guys the picks. And like I said, even when there's just the All-Star game going on, we're still going to show up and we're going to give you quality content. So it's all for you guys. Just we still appreciate all the love and support. Keep it coming. Like Tony always said, we really appreciate it.
We absolutely do. All right, let's continue on here on the Drive Thru. Time to talk All-Star game. We got Big Al McMorty. Big Al, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing? Enjoying the vacation?
Oh, we are. I am. No, Chris, he's doing great. Couldn't be better. Couldn't be better.
I'm good.
I know. All right, on Fox tonight is the All-Star game. NL and AL from Colorado. The NL $1.15, total 11.
Yeah, guys, this is the second All-Star game ever at Coors Field. The last one was back in 1998. And it set an all-time record for total runs scored in an All-Star game. American League won that ball game 13-8 for a total of 21 runs scored. And that might be part of the reason why you've seen this over-under line tick up from 10.5 runs to where it is now, currently at 11 runs. I personally think this might be an overreaction to the history at field, and I think we're going to see a much lower scoring game for several reasons. First of all, this year, the pitching has been dominant. We have a major league ERA of 4.18. That's down from 4.44 and 4.49 the previous two seasons. In contrast, you look at that 1998 season when this game was played at Coors, and that was the height of the steroid era, and the Major League Baseball ERA that season was 4.79. So a big difference, 1998 to today. You also take a look at what Coors Field is doing this season. It's no longer the hitter's haven it once was. This year, its park factor is 1.279. That's down from the previous couple of years, 1.397 and 1.394. And then you take a look at the last 7 games played at Coors when the Rockies had their last 7-game homestand. A total of 47 runs were scored over that 7-game stretch, just 6.71 runs per game. You also, of course, are going to have all-star pitchers on the mound every inning of this game. A lot of the good hitters are out for this contest, guys like Altuve, Correa, Betts, Trout. I just think it's going to easily go under the 11. I'm on the under.
All right, Big Al here says go under total 11 here, NL and AL. All right, Chris, we see these top-line pitchers and something, what these all-star pitchers have in common, high strikeout rates. You're going to get to 11, you better make contact, and we know right now it's tough to make contact on these pitchers.
Absolutely, and this just falls in line with one of my favorite plays, just going against overs just because the game's at Coors Field. Yeah, an all-star game, and you have the best of the best representing the two leagues, but like Al said, it's the same thing on the mound as well. The under's 11-2 and won the last 14 All-Star games. And again, I agree. I think this is an overreaction to the game being played at Coors. I like the under here all day as well.
Coming here on the under NL and AL, and of course this one on Fox at 7:30 Eastern time. All right, Al, over at Pig Dog Premium, get ready for the second half of the Major League Baseball season. Football around the corner. I see you got your football package up there from the NFL.
I do. Yeah, we've got tremendous success over the years in football. I've won 22 out of 29 years. We've won 9 straight in the NFL, and you can get our NFL package right now. Go to Pick Dogs and pick up that season-long subscription. And tomorrow we'll get back in it with the end. We swept the board on Sunday in basketball with the Milwaukee Bucks and the under. Overall, 4-1 on Sunday. We're 314 and 243 this entire basketball season, college and pro combined. I'm already to play possibly 2 big plays, side and total winners, maybe in tomorrow's game 4. I'll at least have 1 play, but possibly 2, depending on the number. So don't miss my selections tomorrow in basketball, and then we'll get back in the swing of things in baseball over the weekend.
All right, guys, you can see here, get on board here with Big Al McMorty, number 1 for 2021 over at Pig Dogs Premium, approaching 4,000 units of profit. That's all documented. So if you go to his profile page, you can check it out. Every play adds up there to nearly 4,000 units of profit. He'll have his big play tomorrow from the NBA, maybe 2. Keep an eye on his profile page, and also get on board with his 2021 2021 NFL football package. Get on board right now with Big Al. He's also part of the 2-for-1 capper promotion. If you had a second capper, even greater value. All right, Al, it's always great having you show. Enjoy your week, and we'll talk with you next week.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Tony. Talk to you next week.
All right, Big Al McMorty here on The Drive To. Let's continue on here with our coverage. Here, joined by Chris Ruffalo. We're going to go ahead and talk some college football right now, and we're going to bring in Jovan Burtz. You'll find him over at Pig Dogs Premium. Top of the leaderboards here at the All-Star break here. You can see him there on the site. Al, Jovan, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Trying to be smooth over here.
All right, doing a good job of that. I was looking at the leaderboards. I said, there he is, right up there. All right, Jovan, let's take a look here at college football for today. You're going to be looking at Florida State.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I'm on the over with for the win total with Florida State this year. Now, the total is actually 5.5, and last year they had an abysmal season with a 3-6 record. It was Mike Norville's first season with the Seminoles, and from year 1 to year 2, that's when you start to see improvement with a struggling program. And I'm pretty excited to see what this team is going to have in store. Now, it all starts at the quarterback position. Well, actually, it all starts with recruits and with the transfer portal. You have all types of moving parts throughout the country with these programs, and they brought in 11 transfers this year. Now, that's a big turnover rate. But it all works out for the better for these for the Seminoles. Now, it all starts with the quarterback play, and there was promise with Jordan Travis last year. He came in, and showed some improvement over James Blackman, who was really a disappointment. And they also have Melvin McKenzie, who, if you know college football, he did some pretty good things with UCF until he had a horrific leg injury a couple years ago. So he's on the comeback trail, and I think that on that side of the ball, it starts there. That'll open up their running back game. They have a pretty good offensive line core, and the real improvement that they need though is with their wide receivers. Because they were kind of poor last year. Now on the defensive end, I see improvement with their linebacker core, but they need to have improvement with their defensive line, because the defensive line was pretty abysmal. But the talent's there with FSU, so I penciled them in for 4 wins right out the gate. Not right out the gate, for as far as like scheduling, but there's 4 wins that they have. This is Jacksonville State, Louisville, Syracuse, and UMass. Now, there's 2 more wins you need to get because the over's 5.5. So it starts off, the first game of the season is pivotal against Notre Dame. They catch Notre Dame at home, and Notre Dame lost a lot of talent from last year's squad. So I think they could get a sneaky win off of right out the gate. And then there's other spots where, while on paper it looks like it'll be losses, they actually have they actually could sneak up on teams like like NC State. They catch NC State at home, and they also face a down Boston College team. They'll be on the road for that one. But I think they could get to 6 wins this year. And with that said, the over's the play.
All right, Javan Burtz here says over the total here with Florida State, over a total of 5.5 wins. All right, Chris, yes, this Florida State team gets a start here with Notre Dame, but they're playing one of these teams that you talked about yesterday. They're going to be on the road here in their third game at Wake Forest. That may be one that can help them get over that, but it'll be a tough spot.
That one too.
It will be a tough spot. Yeah, it will be a tough spot. And I want to know where Javon's hiding the crystal ball because he read a lot of my mind with these thoughts. But, I look at those 4 games that you mentioned, Jacksonville State, UMass, and a couple in Syracuse, and even Louisville. Those are I have those chalked up as 4 wins. And I would even go so far as to say the Boston College game season should be almost a sure thing for a win because, like I said yesterday, Boston College, I have no hopes for this team this year. And I think it is going to come down to those games against like Wake Forest, NC State. I've got to think they at least win one of those. I'm thinking towards NC State, but I like it to get. I like Florida State to get over 5.5. I wouldn't push it to 6.5 because I think 6 is that magic number.
And you got to also, too, with these second-year coaches, that first year was hell going through COVID for these first-year coaches. I mean, it was total hell. I mean, and that's one thing. And one thing to note when you're going over 5.5, there's something to play for to get the 6, right? I mean, you're playing for that bowl berth. You're Florida State, you're almost guaranteed a bowl berth there, Javan.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you totally. And, Mike Norville, coming out of Memphis, the things that he did at Memphis was unprecedented for that program. So, this is a step up in class, step up in competition. But I think he's the right man for the job, especially, following Willie Taggart and what he did in his brief stint with the program.
The team was UCF 26-6 under Milton. Milton has a lot to play for, right? The NFL scouts will be out and looking at this guy in his transfer season here. So this is a lot to play for Milton here to get this team up and running. So over 5.5 here from Javan on Florida State. Oh, Jan, why don't you let us know what's going on, Joanne, over at Pig Dogs Premium. Of course, we've got the All-Star game tonight, that big game, number 4 tomorrow with Bucks and Suns, and then baseball gets started back on Thursday.
Yeah, very light week, just resting up. But, tonight we had the All-Star game, nothing on that. But tomorrow, I'll have the side and the total on that. I've had the side and the total for every game. And I'm 4-2 so far. And I'm looking to run that to 6-2. And then, baseball starts up again where, if you dealt with me in the last 40 days in Major League Baseball, you've made money hand over fist. And I'm ready to continue that for the second half of the season and then heading into football season where, it's NFL and college football. Can't wait. You could, get one of my long-term passes, my 3-day, my 7-day, and my 30-day. I'll also have NFL pass and a college football pass, and it's all there at Sports Chat Place and Pig Dogs.
All right, guys, get on board here with Javan Burtz over at Pig Dogs Premium. You see the numbers here the past 30 days, 1,357 units of profit. That's all documented. So if you check him out over his profile page, you'll be able to see all the plays transparent. He's got his long-term passes up there, 1 month pass up there, all his plays for 30 days. Coming up there soon, Javan will have his NFL, and he'll have his second half Major League Baseball. He's been hot in baseball, so he'll have a second half Major League Baseball package up there as well. Get every play that he'll release up until the final game of the World Series. With those football packages coming up there, check out Javan Burtz over there at Pig Dogs Premium. All right, Javan, as always, great having your show. Have us a great night, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah, so see y'all, on Friday, man. Have a good rest of the week. Rest up, and let's get it for the second half of baseball season.
We're ready for the second half. All right, Javan, have yourself a great night. Javan Burtz here on the Drive-Thru. Check him out over at Pig Dogs Premium. Let's continue on here on the show. We still got football here. We're going to talk to Shane Mickle. He's going to be looking at the ACC conference for us here, and we'll go ahead and bring him up. I know he's in Big Ten country. Maybe he's holding out later in the week with something from the Big Ten. We'll find out a little bit here. Let's bring in Shane right now. Shane, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing great. All right, Shane, you're taking a look here at the ACC, and you're going to have a pick to win the championship.
Yeah, the obvious pick here would be laying the minus 900 with Clemson. But that doesn't seem like a good way to lay a futures bet. You could put that $900 in the bank. You might make enough interest in the 3 months to make out the same as you would with that $100 that you'd win with Clemson. So I'm going to look somewhere else here. I'm going to look at North Carolina. They're on the opposite side of the conference. This will still come down to an ACC championship game. And North Carolina doesn't have to play Clemson this year, so that should help them get to the ACC championship game. They got Sam Howell. The offense, has no issues. They were putting up 50 points regularly last season. The biggest issue is with the defense. They couldn't create turnovers, but they got some big-time recruits coming in on that side of the ball. I think that helps them. I look for more turnovers this year. I'm going to take my chances. I think they make it to the ACC championship game. They probably play Clemson, and if they make it that point, that's something you could hedge your bet on and at least get something out of it, or you can ride it there. I'm going to take North Carolina.
All right, Shane likes North Carolina to win the ACC championship on the upcoming college football season. Plus 700 is the return. All right, Chris. Mac Brown, the team seemed to play well. There was a good spirit there with that program under Mac Brown.
Yeah, it's trying to really turn it around from a program that was only winning a couple of games just 3-4 years ago. But definitely, I think that North Carolina is where the value is here. Especially, like Shane said, not having to play Clemson's going to be big in their back pocket, especially from a conference standing standpoint. So definitely, I think there could definitely be a case made for North Carolina, especially when they gave Clemson a run not too long ago. So I like the value here at plus 700.
Yeah, and you're getting 17 returning starters for North Carolina, 10 on the offensive side, 7 on the defensive side. We've got North Carolina here to win the ACC championship at plus 700. All right, Shane, why don't you let us know what's going on over at Pick Doctor? We know you're sitting at the top of the leaderboard in the NBA this season. Document number 1, 2,569 units of profit. We got that big game 4 tomorrow. Bucks and Suns. Baseball begins on Thursday. Football's coming up. What do you have going on over at the site?
Yeah, I'm locked in on that game 4 tomorrow. I've already got the play up there, $24.99. I've been putting out 2 plays for most of the play or for most this series, but I'm sticking with 1. There's only be 1 play tomorrow, and I've got your winner. And then, of course, MLB and college football and the NFL are right around the corner too. We'll have early bird packages for that. So hop on, the $24.99 pass, or hop on something long term, and let's make some money together.
Absolutely, guys. Get on board with the number 1 handicapper in the NBA over at Pick Dogs Prim. Shane Mickle, get your NBA Game 4 winner right now. It's up and posted. And, of course, take those winnings and go long-term. He's got the 7 and 30-day pass right there. You'll get every play that Shane releases for that period of time, because we know baseball is going to begin the following day on Thursday. So a good time to pick up that NBA winner for Game 4 and then take the money and go long-term with Shane Mickle over at Pick Dogs Premium and add a second capper for that 2-for-1 promo. Even greater value there. All right, Shane, as always, thank you for joining us on the show. We like that North Carolina pick, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. See you guys Thursday.
All right, Shane Mickle here on the drive through. Let's continue on here with Chris Ruffalo, and we'll continue on with the show. And I know it's Chris's turn. So, Chris, we gave you a break early because I know you have a lot to talk about here. You're going to look at 2 college football teams for the Big 12.
Yeah, I am trying to stay focused here, and please, nobody make me laugh because I've got the ice cream truck outside, and that's all I'm hearing right now. So I'm trying to stay serious right now. But it's okay. Like Tony said, we're going to be looking at a couple win totals here. Got the Big 12 conference. This is a conference that keeps ending up on the outside looking in for the most part when it comes to national playoff. But once again, I think I've zoned in on a couple of programs I think we can obliterate the books with this season in the win total department. Now, I'm going to start with Oklahoma State. And Cowboys and Mike Gundy, they rarely get the talent consistently to have consideration for the Big 12 title, but the pieces are still there. Yes, they lost Chuba Hubbard, Tylan Wallace, Tevin Jenkins. They all went pro. But this is still a very high ceiling for Oklahoma State. And, they never really got going because of injuries to Spencer Sanders at starting quarterback. And then the starting safety duo of Trey Sterling and Colby Harville-Peel. They're always banged up. But even then, the Cowboys managed to go 8-3 in a season that they could have very well gone 10-1 or even 11-0. Oklahoma State, they outscored their opposition by more than a touchdown per game, while 2 of those 3 losses only came by a single score, including the loss to Texas, where they outgained the Longhorns, Oklahoma State did, by 243 yards. Now, yes, like I said, there are some big pieces that are gone, but I think Sanders coming back is huge. And while there's no true number 1 receiver, Tay Martin transfers in from Washington State after spending 3 years with the Cougars, and we all know how prolific that offense can be in terms of moving the ball through the air. And you look on defense, the Cowboys are loaded. This is a team that led the country in defensive touchdowns last year. It gave up less than 380 yards per game, which in the offense-heavy Big 12 is actually quite an accomplishment. I just look at it from a coaching standpoint. Mike Gundy has averaged 9.3 wins in each of his last 4 full seasons. And with highly winnable games in each of their first 4 games on the schedule, and in the bulk of the entire schedule, I think we're getting great value at over 7.5 wins with Oklahoma State. And now we're going to look at the flip side. We're going to look at Texas Tech. And when Texas Tech had Cliff Kingsbury in charge, the Red Raiders, this is a team that was always on upset alert against the big boys, but now 2 years into the Matt Wells era, there's not much to be excited about in that part of the history book. 3 of the Red Raiders' 4 wins last year came by a combined count of 6 points against, listen to this, Houston Baptist, Baylor, and the doormat of the Big 12 in Kansas. And Texas Tech was outscored by 8.7 points per game last year. They don't have a lot of returning production. There are winnable games against FIU, Kansas again, and Stephen F. Austin. But after those 3, I think getting to 5 wins seems like a tall task, even 4.5. I think getting plus money to fade the Red Raiders at 4.5 wins, that sounds like fantastic long-term value to me in this one.
All right, Chris here with Oklahoma State over 7.5 Big 12 wins. We got Texas Tech under 4.5 Big 12 wins with Chris Ruffalo. All right, Chris, you know that Oklahoma State team you're talking about, they're loaded here. They got 10 starters back defensively, and of course, Texas Tech having to patch up that offense.
Yeah, it's a matter of the rich getting richer and poor getting poorer, I think, with these 2 programs. You know, the returning consistency for Oklahoma State is huge. And like you said, for Texas Tech, you know, I think just Matt Wells is getting the short end of the stick here. I mean, there's only so much that a coach can do. We talked about Mike Norvell having a rough first year at Florida State, but Matt Wells in 2 years at Texas Tech, he's finished in the bottom third of the Big 12. And that's not where this Texas Tech program is used to being. They're used to being up there. They're used to being a threat for the big boys like your Oklahomas and your Texases of the world. But it just hasn't shaken out that way for Matt Wells.
All right, Chris here, Oklahoma State over 7.5 Big 12 wins. Texas Tech under 4.5 Big 12 wins from Chris Ruffalo. All right, Chris, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium. Tonight we got the All-Star game. Tomorrow, that big game for Suns and Bucks. And, of course, baseball back on Thursday. Football coming up. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium? We see in the positive for the past 7 days.
We finished the MLB first half strong, 6-2 in the last 8 plays, so I think we're going to try to carry that over. Starting on Thursday, but Tony, like you said, we have a big NBA game tomorrow, Game 4. Going to have a couple of plays. I believe we're going to have the side and the total out for that game, so keep your eyes peeled, as well as the MLB action starting up. I'm going to be changing up some of my prices for the packages. So again, I'll have more for that for you guys tomorrow on the drive-through, but definitely check out those long-term packages because they're going to be your best value, whether it's just from me or the 2-for-1 capper deal. Some of your best value over at Pick Dogs, as well as the season passes. Guys, the possibilities for you are endless over there, and that's not just from me. That's maybe for guys like Tony, James Clark, Big Al, anyone you see on the show, anyone you see, Jovan, Trey, everyone. We all have great deals up there, great content, great material up there. Go over there, go over to Pick Dogs Premium, check it out. I can promise you, you will not regret it.
That's right, guys. Check out Chris Will over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the numbers here, past 7 days, plus 452 units of profit. It's all documents. If you check out his profile page, you can see the plays. And right now, get on board with his 2021 MLB season pass. Get his plays there for the rest of the season. Really good value there. And, of course, he'll have those big plays here from the NBA for tomorrow. It's game number 4, Bucks and the Suns. And keep an eye on those NFL and college football early season passes. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Joined by Chris. Guys, reminder, keep those likes, those thumbs up coming in. Help us build up our audience. And, of course, we'll do a complete recap of the show at the end. All right, let's continue on. It's time to bring in James Clark to the show. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs Premium, where he does fantastic work. He's number 2 season to date in the NBA. So let's go ahead and get James on right now. I think we've already got him. Here we go. James, how you doing today?
Pretty good, guys. How are y'all?
We're doing great. All right, James, we're going to go NFL with you, and there's a Super Bowl matchup that you like.
Yeah, guys. If you look at this matchup, the matchup I'm going with is Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Rams. Guys, you can't say this for sure because you don't know. The season's got to play out. Team's got to be healthy. But I see Kansas City making it back to the Super Bowl with the offense that they got enhanced right now. So unless something big happens to Patrick Mahomes, I don't see anybody beating them in the AFC. Because if you look at it in the playoffs in the last few years, when you get them down by 14, 17 points, and the team still comes back and beats you, they're dominating teams in the playoffs like that. Buffalo was the closest one to them, and they end up blowing Buffalo out. They may be somebody come up for the new to challenge them, but that one I think is the easiest pick. Well, the other pick, I'm going with the LA Rams here. They made a big trade in the off season to get Matt Stafford in here, guys, and I think he makes all the difference in the world. Guys, that the Rams have a good defense. It's going to have a good defense around Stafford, something that he's never had around him in his whole NFL career. I don't think he's ever had a defense like he's going to have, and the weapons. I don't think he did have a few weapons. When he did play for Detroit, Megatron was probably one of the best receivers that you probably ever seen. But he's going to have 2 or 3 good receivers. We seen what Cam Akers done as a running back at close to the end of the season. I look for him to step up into a bigger role and continue what he done last year, guys. And you got to look. You getting the Chiefs and the Rams. This possibly could happen. I really like his pick for plus 2,600, guys. I mean, I know it's a long ways off as a Super Bowl, but man, plus 2,600. I think it's a steal, and I think it's a really good bet, guys, and a bet that I've done made.
All right, James here. Exact Super Bowl matchup. Chiefs versus Rams plus 2,600. Of course, the Chiefs, Chris, trying to get over that Super Bowl hangover for some teams that lose in the Super Bowl. I think Reed is the type of coach that doesn't even bother him at all. I mean, I don't think that it'll impact much this season. I know we hear that a lot, but Reed's been around too long. I think you went mute on us, Chris.
Sorry, the perils of the ice cream truck. You look at this game, this matchup. I agree. Andy Reid is he's the coach's coach. You want to say the man's man. He's the coach's coach. This is a guy that's not going to be fazed by one slip up. And Patrick Mahomes, he's a gamer beyond his years. You see how he handled himself last year, and that was with a banged up foot, a big toe injury that was hampering his movement. He says he's good, and I can see him playing with a chip on his shoulder. As far as the Rams on the other side, I think that's where the value is here, because you have Matt Stafford, who with Detroit was consistently throwing for 5,000 yards. Stafford, to me, was the definition of making chicken salad out of chicken you-know-what. And that was he was doing with what he had, and he was doing it well with a fantastic receiving core around him and a really good defense led by Aaron Donald. I could definitely see the Chiefs and Rams at the Super Bowl in this one. Maybe a replica of that 54-51 game from a couple years ago.
Yeah, I know, James, you got Mahomes. You got those good backs out of the backfield. And, of course, in the Super Bowl, James, not a whole lot of talk here, but their tackle was out in that game.
Yeah, there was. And that's another thing. Their tackle was out in the Super Bowl game. But, as you look at this game in the playoffs, when a team gets on a run, usually they're hard to stop. And that's what I think happened to the Kansas City. Is Tampa Bay. You hear it all the time. You've seen it with Pittsburgh. You've seen it with Baltimore. When a team gets in the playoffs and they get on that run, usually they're in the Super Bowl or end up winning the Super Bowl. And like you said, the tackle was out, but I think even if he was there, he may have made a difference. He may not. But the Tampa Bay was so hot to get into that game to the Super Bowl. It'd been hard for the Chiefs to beat them, even if the whole team was fully healthy. And as Chris did say, with Holmes having the foot injury, I didn't see the Tampa Bay defense stepping up like they did in the Super Bowl and holding them to no touchdowns. I did not see that coming at all from the Tampa Bay defense.
All right, James here, Super Bowl, the exact matchup. Chiefs versus Rams, the return plus 2,600. All right, James, let's take a look over at Pick Dog's Prim. Of course, the All-Star game tonight. Big NBA game for tomorrow, Bucks and Suns. Then baseball gets started on Thursday. Football around the corner. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Well, guys, tomorrow I'll either have, at least have the side, maybe have the side and the total. And if you go look, guys, like I said yesterday, I dropped my yearly pass down. It's at $1,330. I dropped it down to $1,000, guys. It's less than $100 a month. You get my plays. You get all my football plays, basketball plays, the whole year round, all the way back to here we are, back to the All-Star break. And I also lowered my playoff pass in the NBA to down to $75, guys, if you want to get that. You've seen what I've been doing in the NBA this year. And also I'm going to have an early bird for the NFL and college football. And I'm going to put up an MLB second half season, the season long too, and probably the World Series. I have the playoffs in it too. I have one that too, guys. Or if you can team me up with any of these other guys, and get a 30-day or a year pass, whatever your budget can afford to help you to win, and we'll try to help you win this whole season or whatever package you get, guys. If you get any of these cappers on here, I say it every time I'm on here. We got the best cappers in the world, and we do. If you get any of us or team us up with any of us, you can't go wrong with none of us. As Chris said earlier, all of us, we know our stuff. We didn't get here from just a fluke. We really do know what we're talking about, and we're definitely going to try to put some money in your pockets, guys. So go give us a test drive, like Chris always says, and we'll definitely try to put money in your pockets, fellas.
So I get on board here with James Huck over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the numbers here, nearly 2,100 units of profit in the NBA this year. Document number 2. He's got that 1-year pass right now. Every play for a year from James Clark reduced down to $1,000. That's about $83.33 a month. That's a great value right now. Get on board with James Clark. We're talking about every play from the NFL, every play from college football, bowls, playoffs, college football, college basketball, March Madness. First part, well, actually the entire NBA season for next year, because they're going to finish the season in mid-June next year. So you'll get, there you go. We got complete seasons for you here, guys. The rest of baseball, 1-year pass right now, $1,000, $83.33 a month. Great value there from James Clark. All right, James, as always, great having the show. Continue that success, and we'll talk soon.
All right, Tony, I appreciate you having the show. And guys, that deal ends this week. After this week, it'll probably go back up to what it was. So right. Take advantage of that, guys, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. James Clark here on the Drive to check out his profile page. Get on board with that 1-year pass. All right, let's continue on here. More NFL talk, and we're going to bring in Damien Sosh. We're going to take a look at the Eagles here for this season, a season win total pick from Damien. How you doing, Damien?
Hi, guys. No good.
All right, Damien, we're going to look here at the Philadelphia Eagles here for 2021.
Yeah, I like the Philadelphia Eagles here, the win total going over the number. You're going to be laying a little bit of juice, but I think it's a really solid investment. The Eagles finished 4-11-1 last season. At the end of the season, it's all in part ways with Doug Peterson and quarterback Carson Wentz. Nick Sirianni is going to be taking over now as head coach, and new quarterback Jalen Hurts. Last season record, it was a culmination of many things, but mainly I think poor quarterback play. Carson Wentz was he was brutal to put it nicely. And it was a team that was really decimated by injuries. It seemed like they had a makeshift offensive line every week. 3 starters, Lane Johnson, Brandon Brooks, Isaac Seumalo. They missed most of last season due to injury. Now all those guys are going to be back. They're going to be back healthy. They're going to join an all-pro center in Jason Kelsey along the offensive line. And the health of the offensive line is going to be big this season, mainly because I mentioned, Jalen Hurts taking over at quarterback. He only has 4.5 games of NFL experience under his belt. But last year, when they finally made the switch over from Wentz to Hurts, the team seemed to really respond under Hurts. They seemed to kind of rally around him. It just seemed like it gave him a little extra spark. And I expect that to continue into this season. The Eagles were poor at wide receiver. They kind of addressed that in the draft. They went out and they drafted Devontae Smith, and I think he's gonna be very good. You don't say it often where a rookie wide receiver impacting the game, but I think he's one of these guys that really could be a game changer and come in and really have an impact right away. And, you know, if you remember, Hurts and Smith actually have some chemistry already. They were both at Alabama at the same time. I know Hurts, you know, ended his career there at Oklahoma, but they were both at Alabama. So they are familiar with each other. They played together before, and I think that's only going to be a benefit. The Eagles have a good running game. Miles Sanders, they added Kerryon Johnson in the offseason. You know, if that offensive line stays healthy, I think they're very good. I think they're one of the better offensive lines, maybe in the league, definitely the division. I know Dallas, they always have their injury concerns along the offensive line, but, you know, it's a team where I think that they should feed the ball. They should run the ball a lot. That'll open up the passing game. They stay healthy. I see no reason why they shouldn't be able to get over that 6.5 win mark. And they also have the benefit of playing in the putrid NFC East. I don't see really – I mean, every team, I think, in the NFC East will be a little bit better, but they're still going to be bad. And I see the Eagles getting over that 6.5 win mark.
All right, Chris, we're looking here over 6.5 wins here, and I think Damon made the right point here. Playing in a rather weak division. Of course, Prescott comes back this year. We'll see what the football team looks like, and of course, the Giants still, you know, still a lot of question marks there.
I really hope nobody gets tired of me making the reference to the NFC least, because I just think that is what this division is. It's I don't want to say the worst division in football, but you got to kind of label it what it is. It's been the least successful in terms of win totals for the last couple of years. And I think Damien's 100% right about the roster. Now, the scheduling standpoint, the Eagles do have tough games against teams like, you know, the Bucs, the Chiefs, but those games are at home. So that's going to play to their favor. And I think at worst, you're looking at an 8-9 or a 9-8 season with the Eagles. So I like the over as well in this one.
All right, so agreement here. Eagles over 6.5 wins. All right, Damon, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, All-Star game tonight. Tomorrow, the NBA back in gear with Game 4. Baseball back on Thursday, Boston and New York Yankees. Football around the corner. What will you be having up at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I don't have anything on the All-Star game tonight, but I'm definitely having a play, at least on the side in the NBA playoff game tomorrow. Possibly looking at the total. Haven't totally decided yet on that one. But check me out. Major League Baseball heating up. I'm going to reduce my right now. If you take a look at the website, I'm going to be reducing my Major League Baseball season pass for the rest of the season. Like I mentioned, we're heating up in baseball. So head on over there, check me out. Football's right around the corner. I can't wait for that to get started. Training camp in 2 weeks. Before you know it, preseason and the regular season will be here. College and pro, I can't wait.
Getting ready, man. Loving this week, man. Talking football. All right, get on board here with Damien Sosh over at Pick Dogs Premium. See the numbers here. 1,332 units of profit, all documented. Get on board with Damon right now. He's got an MLB season pass up there. Get every play the rest of the Major League Baseball season all the way to the end of the World Series. Great value there from Damien Sosh. He'll have some NFL early season NFL and college football packages coming up soon. All right, Damon, as always, great having your show. Have yourself a great night, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you on Thursday.
All right, Damien Sosh here on the Drive Thru, guys. Keep those those thumbs up coming in. We're going to do a full recap at the end of the show. All right, now it's time for my pick, and I'm going to stick here with them. I'm going to stick with Major League Baseball here because we talked about the NL yesterday, and there's an AL team that I really like. But I'm not picking this AL team to win. Well, actually, I am picking them to win the AL pennant, but I don't want to bet on them because I don't think the value is there at plus 250. But I'll take the Astros to win the World Series at plus 650. I kind of view the American League as the weaker of the two leagues. Not a big fan of the Red Sox and Rays starting staffs. We've seen the Rays have shown some weakness in their bullpen, especially as they play on the road. White Sox will be a major threat, but Giolito just doesn't seem to be himself. Now, the Astros, 55-36. They hold a 3.5 game lead on Oakland for that first place in the AL West. But Oakland, they have issues hitting at home, and we've seen their issues in the bullpen. I think the path looks pretty clear for the Astros to get that American League pennant. But again, like I said, plus 250 is enough value to place the wager. Astros have the best offense in baseball, sitting first in runs and in batting average. They're 7th in homers. They're the best defensive team in the game. They sit 5th in quality starts. Their pitching staff is pretty deep. Zach Greinke, Luis Garcia, Lance McCullers Jr., Framber Valdez has put up great numbers. Astros utilize their 4th and 5th starters well in relief appearances in the postseason. That's a rule for possibly Jose Urquidy, Christian Javier. Even Jake Odorizzi could be asked to get an out or two in the middle innings. Ryan Presley has saved 16 of 17 games. Former Dodger reliever Pedro Baez expected to return at the end of the month and in early August. We got third baseman Alex Bregman returning. This is a playoff experienced team that has all-around strength facing teams that I think have question marks in the AL. I'm looking at the Houston here to hoist it. Houston to win the World Series plus 650, Chris.
Yeah, Tony, I'm not gonna lie. You might have just talked me into that because I think my big concern was the pitching staff, and just but like you said, it is a deep pitching staff. Like I said, I was just having a hard time with getting myself to rely on guys like Javier and Garcia and Framber Valdez, who don't necessarily have the postseason experience or pedigree like a Zach Greinke does. But one thing I do know is that the Houston Astros will probably have the cleanest dugout in all of the playoff field, considering there will be no trash cans in that dugout. So that's I think that's one thing we got to watch out with the Astros, just seeing how they're going to do now that the eyes are on them, and trying to silence some critics after saying, well, you think we have to cheat to win? No, we don't have to do that. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Astros handle themselves, but I definitely could see the value at plus 650.
Our value there at plus 650 over with the Houston Astros to win the World Series. So guys, check me out over at Pig Dogs Prim. I'm also a part of the 2-for-1 Capper promotion. You can match me up with Chris, with Damon Saj. We also have Joanne Burtz, Tony Brown. Match me up with the 2-for-1 Capper promotion. You'll get every play that I release, my 3, 7, and 30 All Sports Pass. Your best value there over at Pig Dogs Prim. All right, let's continue on here with the show. Now it's time to do the full recap, as we'll recap the plays from tonight's show. James Clark will join us for this. Trey was on the Reds to win the NL Central at plus 600. Tony Brown, Raiders, under 8 wins. Al McMorty, NL/AL, under 11 runs. Shane Mickle, North Carolina Tar Heels to win the ACC Championship, plus 700. Chris, Oklahoma State, over 7.5 Big 12 wins. Texas Tech, under 4.5 Big 12 wins. James Clark, the exact Super Bowl matchup. Chiefs versus Rams, plus 2,600. Damien, Eagles, over 6.5 wins. Yours truly, the Astros to win the World Series at plus 650. We'll start with Chris. Other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
I got to go with more recency. I'm going to go with Big Al with that MLB All-Star under 11 runs, but I will give honorable mention to James for the value at plus 2,600 on that Super Bowl matchup.
There you go. All right, let's go over to James. James, other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
I like Damien's pick here. Might be biased because I'm an Eagles fan, but I see him getting over 6.5 wins. You push it up to 7, and you get a little bit more value. But I see him getting 7 or 8 wins this season. And, like you said about Jalen Hurts, and the way he finished the season last year, the team come around him, I see that happen again tonight. Or I see it happen again this season, guys.
Yeah, on the football side, I'm with Damien, but on the baseball side, I'm going to go with Big Al's NL/AL under 11 runs. All right, that'll do it for this edition of the Drive-Thru, guys. Tune in again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll have a pick from the NBA Finals Game 4. We'll also maybe have some player props. Be tuned for that as well. More football talk here on All-Star Break week, And of course, it all gets started at 10 a.m. Eastern Time with the morning show. You got Mitch, Rod Zawacki, Brian Piller, and don't forget those YouTube member VIPs. Sign up, follow the link below, and then we're back here at 6 Eastern Time with the Drive-Thru. I'm Tony T. Now let's go ahead and bring in our crew for tonight. Wave you guys good night. Have yourself a great night, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow live.